Hey ho, let's go. I love this song just as much as Christmas music, really. Thank you for joining us again this week as Mike and I get into the offseason with a look at the top list of prospects in the American League and what fantasy impact they may have in 2026, along with a hot stove updates. Oh, sure, we'll get Mike's Sonny Gray take. Never wanted to be a Yankee. But before we get to all that, as we always do,
What a douche.
we begin the show by asking
Sonny
you,
Gray. In this case, it's you. It's usually you, but it's Sonny Gray in this case.
where else would you rather be than right here, right now?
Can't
Unless
even
you're
get through
Sonny
the
Gray
opening.
and you're in the Bronx.
Can't even get through the opening without pissing me off.
You're looking live at our split studios. This is Fantasy Baseball Now, episode 65, part of the ball9.com podcast network. How are you? Did you enjoy Sonny Gray's introductory press conference in Boston?
I enjoyed turkey dinner much more, if I'm being totally honest with you. I'm being totally honest with you. In addition to us being on the Ball 9 Network, you can also follow us on YouTube as the big man from Massachusetts chimes in, I love Sonny Gray. Yeah, because he hasn't fucking pitched for you yet. Wait till he toes the rubber. I'm going to bookmark that one for May 8th when you're trying to light his house on fire or egg his house as they do.
Or egg his house as some do in South Jersey.
Yeah, make sure to smash the like button. Continue to follow us. Everybody's been great. I don't know how we pulled this off 65 times, but I don't know. You're the idiots that keep watching, so we keep doing it. So
exactly.
That's me buttering up. That's me buttering up to the audience.
You're not supposed to say that. I
love Sonny Gray.
That's okay.
Fuck you, big man. Sonny Gray can, to quote the great Eric Cartman, suck my balls, Mr. Garrison.
You want to start with prospects?
To be in New York. So this is the stuff that makes my head spin. I didn't mind getting paid by New York. I didn't want to be in New York. The last time he was on the East Coast in the American League, it didn't really work out.
No.
He's in the exact New York position in the rotation as he was when the Yankees got him. He wasn't brought here to be an ace. He's not brought to Boston to be an ace.
No, he's a crafty, serviceable veteran pitcher now. He'd be a great third starter for them.
Yeah, too bad he's got to be a 2. Well, that's one of the prospects that we're going to cover later. Slides up the rankings, which, based on postseason performance, is a distinct possibility.
We shall see. Bob, how are you, my friend?
Hello, Robert. So you made a comment. You made a comment when the Angels traded Ward to the Oreos, the double stuffed Oreos, for Grayson Rodriguez, that somehow, some way, the Angels would still find a way to fuck this up.
Yep.
And then I saw that they signed Alex Manella.
But they're going to find out.
My boy was right. He did. My guy was right. My guy was right. So this is what's happened since we were last together. Right? Beginning on August 21st, which was kind of quiet, right?
Yep.
All of a sudden, we get Brandon Nimmo for Marcus Semien. I don't know about you. Big names, right? I don't think from a fantasy perspective it means anything.
I agree. I don't think Simeon's got much left. I know he had a better year last year. He came on a little bit. There's nothing special there. Nimmo, he was part of my get rid of everybody crew purge on May 9th last year on Mother's Day. Him and Cody Bellinger were leading the charge, driving Team Pugsley Baseball into last place. And then
as it turns out, you should have kept them both.
I should have kept them. Yeah.
As it turns out, you should have kept them both. It looks like Texas is shaving payroll, right? Though Nimmo's contract's still pretty steep. In a worse hitter's park, I don't know how he hits. One of the guys you're going to talk about later is going to make that outfield. They non-tendered Adolis Garcia. He's going to end up someplace, clearly not in Texas. So that kind of gets stuff going, right? That kind of kicks it off, and then you get a little signing here, you get a little signing there, some kind of nothings. Then the Sonny Gray trade for one of the greatest name, the best current name in baseball, Richard Dick Fitz, and Brandon Clark, who's probably Fitz will pitch for the Cardinals this year for sure. Clark is.
Did you know the Cardinals are now a revenue sharing recipient?
Yeah, well, and you wonder why nobody went last year. They don't stand for it. They don't stand for it there. They don't stand for it there. I think for the Red Sox, it's a good trade. I think for Sonny Gray's value, it increases from a fantasy standpoint just because he's on a better team.
Yeah.
I still won't touch him. His ADP, his projected ADP. I did 1,100 players. My personal projected ADP. Sonny Gray is 10,999.
What did you make of the Dylan Cease contract? I said when we went through our early postseason or off season, he was going to be the most overpaid free agent out there because people got to love his velocity and his strikeouts, and he got paid.
He did get paid 7 years.
Good for Toronto for finally landing somebody, but they ponied up.
The money, they're in the second threshold now. They're over 270 million with the signing of Ponce coming back from KBO, which is a lot for a guy who's really legitimately had one good professional baseball season. They paid he got a lot. But Cease's AAV is less than they paid Bassett and Scherzer combined last year.
Yeah.
And if you've already decided you're not going to bring back Bassett and Scherzer, though Scherzer does want to pitch and will probably.
He wants to pitch there.
He wants to pitch there. I don't. But listen, you put a bow on any turd you want. I don't care what his KOBB ratio was and his XBA and his ERA plus and his WHIP -8 and whatever all the other spreadsheets you're living in Massachusetts, right? It must have snowed. You got extra time on your hands. Sonny Gray sucks. I'm saying it. You could take him. You can have him. He will take him. And then in May 8th, when he's 0-2 with a 5.8 ERA, because it's cold and you can't pitch in the cold weather and they're mean to him in Boston, he'll be on the block update. Sonny Gray, bag of baseballs. That'll be the return. I don't know. You and I are not Dylan Cease fans. He had a good year. He does help the Blue Jays. It probably, I don't know if it changes his fantasy value at all. He probably is still where he was, right? He's probably still in the same spot that he was, and he'll probably still be drafted in around the same ADP as he would have been had he stayed in San Diego. I don't think it's going to really move the needle. The needle mover probably is Ryan Helsley to Baltimore, though we both believe the Orioles are clueless. But he's going to close. He's going to close there. He had no value in a non-holds league. He had no value at all, and after he got traded from the Cardinals to the Mets, because he was just terrible. But I mean, Bautista's done likely there, and probably not going to pitch again this year.
Well, it's funny. You got Toronto with Cease, Boston with Gray, the Orioles with Helsley, and Hal Steinbrenner needs help covering his expenses.
Well, look at you. Not everybody takes a Diners Club card. And his Macy's card doesn't work in restaurants. So I mean, give me a break. Give me a break with. I mean, honestly, give me a break with Hal's whining about anything. How about let's do this? You just let your setup man walk across the street. They weren't going to pay him that much anyway. I knew somebody was going to overpay for him. I kind of feel like that seals Edwin Diaz. Fuck you, Kip. The Edwin Diaz to the, and Edwin Diaz to the Dodgers. It kind of Jesus. I was having a pretty decent day.
You missed the production.
I had a 5 consecutive turkey day run and ended it yesterday and decided I wasn't going to eat turkey again probably until March. Right-minded, and then here we are. Here we are.
What did you think of Devin Williams to the Mets?
I think it's a good signing for the Mets. He was really good, and he was really good in the second half of the year. Really good.
Yeah.
I mean, would I like for them to bring him back? Yeah, but they're not going to bring him back at that much money. They're just not. They're just not going to bring him back at that contract. It's just not going to happen. And I knew somebody was going to overpay for him. Just like somebody's going to give Edwin Diaz a big pile of money. Just like Atlanta gave Raisel Iglesias more than I thought he was going to get paid. Though he was also really good in the second half.
He was.
I mean, teams need closers. Teams need closers. Texas still sitting there without a closer. Arizona still sitting there without a closer. Robert Suarez apparently available. So, which leaves the Mason Miller conundrum still a Mason Miller conundrum. Is he going to be a starter or is he going to be a closer?
Don't do it. Don't take him out of the closing role. That's insane.
I think it's dangerous.
It's insane.
Luke Weaver wants to be a starter. Clay Holmes was Cy Young until May 10th. And decided he was going to have twice as many. They were going to let him pitch twice as many innings as he ever pitched in his life, and then they couldn't figure out why he couldn't get anybody out. It's one thing to pitch on short rest with a sinker when your arm's healthy, but when your arm's dead and you can't pitch it and you can't get your sinker, not good. Colbeck May 1.
How long is Rodon out? Same thing, May?
That's what they're saying, early May. Clark Schmidt won't be until after the All-Star break. I mean, they still got Fried. They still got Heel. They still got Schlittler. They'll find somebody, a plug-in guy. They signed Yarborough back so he can swing in the rotation. So it's just it. They got guys. The one thing that the Yankees do have is that they don't have 6-inning pitchers. They have pitchers that they could let go 7 or 8 guys with the mentality to do it. So the bullpen's not necessarily as important, but the bullpen's still important. And the way the game's played today,
yeah,
the bullpen's ultra important. I mean, Cam Brogdon got a contract, for God's sakes. That's how important he hasn't gotten an out since 2021.
Here's this question. Does Toronto being aggressive and getting within an eyelash of winning the World Series, does that force the Yankees and Boston as well to step up?
I should it? Yes. I think should it? Yes. I think it should. But the Yankees will look at it that if they had a full rotation and they played Toronto, they would have beat them, and they were within an eyelash. The Red Sox look at it like we were super young last year. Why do we need to go crazy? We just need to figure out what we do with Abreu and Duran and what we get back for one of those two guys. And we didn't have Roman Anthony in our lineup, who is the modern day Rafael Devers at Yankee Stadium. We like another guy I'm never going to want to see play there. He's going to own it. I don't like that. I don't like what they're going to want for Ketel Marte. I think he's going to end up in Philadelphia.
That would be interesting.
You think?
What about Schwarber? I heard they're not close. The Phillies.
Nobody is.
Nobody is. Okay.
No, nobody's close. Nobody's close. I don't know if it's years or dollars. I think it's with him. I think it's years. I think the Phillies would rather go 3, and I think he wants 5. Zach Gallen's an interesting name. I'd take Zach Gallen as a Yankee. Zach Gallen would be a good fit on a lot of teams. I mean, with the exception of last year, he's never hurt, so he pitches a lot of innings. He pitches a ton of innings. And they don't know. I mean, his velocity is down a little bit, but was it a blip or are we at the end with him? There's still a lot to. I mean, there's still so much to go. There's still so many dominoes to fall. There's so many rumors. Everybody Scott Burrows is attached to is still playing the Yankees like he used to, and I don't think they're interested in 90% of those guys. I really don't. I still keep hearing Bellinger to the Mets. I still keep hearing Tucker to the Yankees. I still keep hearing Schwarber back in Philly or in Cincinnati. I mean, Cease going that early is pretty interesting, right? Don't you think? That's pretty interesting.
I'm happy. I want it to get kickstarted. You know.
Yeah, we need a big trade.
I mean, the winter meetings used to be a bonanza every day, and that starts Sunday. Last couple of years, little blah. I think everybody waits.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if they're going to be more active. I wonder if they're going to be more active. I mean, honestly, there's no reason. Well, Ted, that's a great question, right? So either Dominguez plays or he gets traded. It's one. There's no B. Right? Cedric Mullins, Tampa making a splash.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, he signed today. Emilio Pagan back to Cincinnati today. Watch Cedric Mullins go to Tampa and refine the fountain of youth. You're asking Brian Cashman, Ted, to not hug a prospect until he has absolutely zero value. Zero. I'd trade Spencer Jones. I'd trade him. His value is higher than it's ever going to be. I'd trade him right now and get whatever I needed for him. I need a starting pitcher. I'm going to trade him. I need a better third baseman than McMahon. I'm going to trade him. Yeah, both of those, Gore and Abrams, they're both. I was really surprised. I was surprised at the percentage. There was an ESPN article yesterday. I was really surprised that Abrams is like 35% to be traded. Now, they very well just could be fed up with his bullshit.
Yeah.
And I mean, they still had a really, really. I'd rather have Yuri Perez for a Jones deal. Take my chances on him. I do like Alcantara, but that's a steep ask. Everybody wants Jones. The White Sox wanted him for Cease when rumor was flying around. They wanted him for Luis Robert, who's still apparently back in the trade world. I'd trade him. I know where I'd trade him. I'd put him in a package to San Diego and get Tatis Jr. out of there. In fact, I'll give you both. I will give you both outfielders. You can have them both. Here you go. Take them both.
All right.
Take them both. Maybe the Yankees re-sign Michael King. It's very quiet on the Michael King front. He's going to get he may end up with a 1-year deal because he was hurt last year.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to sign him, and they're going to be happy that they did, and wish they would have found a way to give him more years. Yeah, it's like bubbling, right? Like it's like there's every day there's a little something. There's a signing here, there's a signing there. You look at it, and you're like, hey man, it might have just. You look at it from our world, and you're like, man, it might just help his value a little bit. That might now he might be somebody I would consider adding at some point. or, well, there's no way I'm going to, like this guy's, there's no shot for me to even consider this guy. I mean, Devin Williams' value goes up. Helsley's value goes up. Ray's goes up. Cease's probably stays the same. Nemo and Simeon probably stay the same, right? So, like, so far, 50-50 from a fantasy standpoint, where guys sign and their value goes up. And it makes you look a little bit like, hey, like this, I would have never considered writing Ryan Helsley's name down on anything until the other day when he signed with Baltimore.
Correct.
Wouldn't have considered it.
He was a good coach.
I'm not considering Sonny Gray's name. Let's be clear about that. I am not considering Sonny Gray's name. I'm not considering it.
Oh, I would pick him. Absolutely.
You know who number 11,000 is on the list? Xander Bogaerts.
Do we still have Uncle Ted's breakout players?
We do. I do. Let's go to the archives, Theodore, and we will 2025. Yep, your AL East boom was Ben Rice. Your NL East boom was Jose Tena. That didn't work out so well. Your AL Central boom. I gotta find it. Here we go. Pete Crow Armstrong and Kyle Manzardo, and they were both really good selections. Manzardo had a really quiet season. Yeah. And Tirso Ornelas and Mickey Moniak, former number one pick of the Philadelphia Phillies, Mickey Moniak. And went to Colorado, and all of a sudden he had a hell of a year. He had a hell of a year. They gave their interim manager the full-time managers tab today.
That won't help.
I guess if you manage your way out of not having the worst record in the history of Major League Baseball, you deserve a little more time.
That's an improvement. All right. Shall we get to the prospects?
We're going to get to the prospects, and I did the top 15 American League prospects, and the guys that are highlighted are guys that we're going to spend a little time on. So this is not easy to see on this screen, but I know what it says. So Leo DeVries is the number one prospect, still only 18. I don't think he's going to have an impact this year.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be up. I don't think they'll burn a year. Though it'd be interesting if he did. Remember what I said. When they bring him up, if they're truly going to keep him at shortstop, that makes Jacob Wilson an incredible option at second base.
Yeah. Or a trade candidate.
No, I think they can't find anybody to take their money. So I think they're going to lock up Wilson and Kurtz, try and spend some money this offseason.
They could package Wilson with Severino, and then somebody would actually pay attention to the Severino offers that they want to try. Because they're trying to trade him in the worst way. Well,
he spoke out. He's also the highest paid player in the history of the franchise.
Yeah, but we'll get to Connor Griffin next week. I love that kid, man. That kid's going to be great. He is the number one prospect. DeVries is 2. So the number on the left-hand side is their current prospect ranking. So why don't you spend a minute on Walker Jenkins?
All right. So Jenkins, I think he's in a good spot this year. He has he had some injuries last year, had an ankle. He's only 20.
Yeah.
The reason I think he could have a big impact this year is they're in a rebuild. I still think Joe Ryan's going to get traded. I heard Buxton's name is out there possibly on the trade wire.
He's got to waive a no trade. He's got to waive a no trade clause though.
So why not bring up Jenkins and see what the kid can do? Okay, he's very highly regarded, got all the tools. Like I said, the Twins are in a rebuild, so he's got a solid chance to get some at bats, even though he's only 20.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You know, and then you go to McGonigal, who his highest level is AA, but last year on 3 levels, 19 homers and only 46 strikeouts in 88 games. His biggest issue, and you got to see what Detroit's going to do in the offseason, is where's he going to play? Because Torres took the qualifying offer, which I think kind of screwed up that plan.
Yeah, but they need a shortstop.
Well, Javi Baez, yeah, do you move on from him if you can? I know Colt Keith is young at third base, so that looks like it's blocked.
Well, and they've got I can't think of his name. And they got Max Anderson coming too, who's a second base, third baseman. Another right-hand hitting bat, Uncle Ted, just for you. But Max Anderson's a 63rd ranked prospect in Major League Baseball, and he's on his way too. They have a lot of prospects.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't have any really. I don't think they have much from a pitching standpoint. They don't have much from a pitching standpoint, but they do have a lot of bats coming, which gives them some flexibility to do some stuff if they need to.
You know, Savage is another guy.
What?
He was so good in the postseason. Did he just catch lightning in a bottle in October, November? He's got that high arm delivery, which people aren't used to seeing. Can he do it over the course of a year? He's got the balls to do it. You can see that. He's got composure beyond his age.
Yeah. I mean, we can say the same thing about the last guy that fit in this top 15 about Connolly Early. We say the exact same thing, right? Is he, did he catch lightning in a bottle when he came up? But like same thing, like he had the balls to pitch in a massive game in the playoffs. And he pitched great. And he pitched pretty well in all his starts. Yeah, it's like Basilio fits in the same thing with this. I've already seen him. He's going to get drafted. People aren't like, they're both going to get drafted earlier than you think, right? Yasevich early will, because there's in our league, especially because there's so many Red Sox fans going to get drafted. Walcott's interesting to me because the Rangers love Walcott, but what do you do with Seager, or what do you do with him? Where does he play? Do you move him to the outfield? Does he play second base? Like, what do you do with him if you're going to bring him up? Because they do love him.
You know, the one thing with Basilio, you wouldn't think you'd hear this yet. You know, a year ago, we were talking about Adley Rutschman being the face of the Orioles franchise. A better player for them than he is a fantasy player, but still the face of the franchise. MLB Radio the other day, they were having a discussion. Would the Orioles entertain trading Rutschman this offseason?
Yeah, I've seen that. They could fix a lot of problems.
It's amazing how 1 year can change a perception of a player's value.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, to the same point, you can tell how, Ted just mentioned Carter Jensen, who I love Carter Jensen, but they thought enough of him. A, they brought him up last year, and B, they traded Felix Fermin to San Diego because he's their catcher, and they'll let Sevy play a little first base, play a little DH, and catch occasionally. But like, that kid's going to be really, really good, and he's a left-hand hitter, and he hits a ball. To your point, he hits a ball really hard. Bazana's the one Bazana's an enigma to me, because I feel like we've been hearing about him forever.
Yep.
And he hasn't been in professional baseball for all that long. He hasn't been in professional baseball for all that long, but the one thing that they need desperately in Cleveland is power. And he doesn't do that. He doesn't hit for power. And he runs a little bit. He doesn't strike out a lot, which is a huge thing. He's a 1-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio guy. But he hasn't really hit. Like he only hit 238 in AAA last year, and I know he was hurt, and I know he was in our league. He was a minor league drafted player last year. Spencer Jones, I don't know. I still got him on my roster. I don't know what to make of him.
Is he the real deal? I mean,
I don't know. He hits a ball a mile, man. He hits a ball far. And he's big. If he comes up and plays center field and they put Judge in right and Stanton left, Stanton's the shortest of the three at 6'5".
Wow.
I mean, Jones is a big guy. I mean, it's lefty bat in Yankee Stadium. He hits the ball super hard. He still strikes out a lot, even though he cut that down in the second half. I don't know. Beavers look pretty good in his audition with the Orioles, but then they trade for an outfielder. So now what does that mean?
That means they don't know what they're doing.
Well, there is that. There definitely is that. But it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting as drafts start to materialize after the first of the year. I almost plugged in current average draft position for these guys, and then I just decided that I didn't feel like doing it. I guess that's probably the honest way to look at it.
Yeah.
But I mean, right now, I don't know if CBS is updated because that's the easiest one for me to look at. No rankings at all for average draft position. None. But I'm sure NSBF does have. I'm sure there are. I would think so. Forget about Basala, Yuskevich, and Early for just a second. I would think right at this minute, Jensen would have the highest ADP of the group. And I kind of feel like McGonigal might be next. He tore it up in fall. He crushed it in fall league this year. Just killed it.
Would you get into an NFBC league?
Yeah, I've been digging into it. Ted's trying to get me to go for the whole thing and just get into the friggin' big one instead of I was going to do. There's a couple of play-ins. There's a couple of play-ins and I was going to dip my toe. I was going to dip my toe in that just to get a feel for what it's like. Like right now, Bazana is 584. Jenkins is 596. McGonigal's 279. That's a pretty big jump. Walcott is $640. Basallo's 167. Holy heck.
Hey, I see a stat on Schwarber. I want to go back to him for a second. Most home runs by left-handed batters versus left-handed pitchers. Yankees 34. This is last year. Yankees 34. Dodgers 28. Mets 23. Kyle Schwarber 23.
Look, I don't know how you don't.
Give him his 5 years.
I just think it's the years. I really do. I just think it's the years. And I think that's what the holdup is. I believe that's what the holdup is. He might. I don't know how he thinks he's going to get 5 years, but that's what he wants. Savage is 149. Wow, that's pretty high. Like, to your point, Ted. Carter Jensen. How does he not have a? How does he not have a ranking? Spencer Jones. Spencer Jones is 585, so people aren't as high on him. People aren't as high on him as I would have thought. Beavers is 302. Obviously part of this is also depending if so round 9 for Carter Jensen, that probably makes sense. Connolly early is at 205, so that maybe part of this is people see him in the majors. They get an uptick in ADP, and the guys that do deeper research get these young guys later, and maybe McGonigal's not a starting middle infielder for me, but there are leagues in NFBC where you draft it and you're done. That's your team. You don't make any roster moves. You don't make any roster moves for the entire season.
Wow.
Like, you draft your roster and that's where it goes.
How many guys do you draft?
Oh, it's a pretty huge, it's a pretty big roster. Yeah, Ted's the one that got me digging around in this. So I will have detail on the NFBC options, and maybe if there's not a million signings in the next week, maybe I'll just run through it. Two catchers, first, second, third, shortstop, middle infielder, corner infielder, utility, 5 and 9 pitchers.
So 21 active.
Sean with the last line with no trades. No kidding. You went a full year and got Scoop Ball back.
Yes, I did. And hopefully 2024 Gunnar Henderson.
But who'd you trade?
Some journeyman shortstop I never heard of. Witt something.
Wait, did he pitch for Texas?
Yes.
Some 57-year-old pitcher from Texas.
He was erratic.
Wait a minute. I traded Bobby Witt Jr. I thought I was trading Bobby Witt Sr.
His dad could bring it. He just didn't know where it was.
I wondered why I got that trade offer. I'm like, John, I got to do that.
His dad was New Lelouch before the movie came out.
Bobby Witt for Derek Scoop Ball. I got to make that trade. I'd be an idiot not to make. Oh, wrong Bobby Witt.
Wrong Witt.
Maybe less Irish whiskey in your eggnog.
Whatever gets you through the day. That's what I say.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Bobby Witt was a good pitcher. It's little wonder why his son's a good player, because he was a really, really good player.
Yeah.
And a good athlete too. Like he was a really good player. He's a not Gaetti Nepta candidate at some point. Bobby Witt Sr. He decided today to post Eddie Murray for Chaos Tuesday. Joe Compiler.
Yes, he was.
My response was a meme from Ronders, hanging around. His response was, don't say it. He knew exactly what I was going to say.
That's funny.
That is funny. So next week we do the same thing with National League prospects.
Yes.
And a hopefully not quick rundown of a turn of events, and maybe the winter meetings add a little fun to our lives going into next.
I hope so.
Wednesday. And Colson Montgomery, man, I love that dude. Hopefully that takes up more time than it did this week, and there's a lot of news. But to your point, the last couple winter meetings have been interviews with free agents and not much else.
Yep.
Somehow I think the winter meetings this year are going to be taken up by a lot of conversation about salary cap, floor, etc. And they'll probably do a preliminary meeting with the Players Association while they're there, just to get a feel for how much money Tony Clark wants to try to steal from the Players Association coffers under some fucking shell company that he created. Ryan O'Hearn, Pittsburgh Pirate Ryan O'Hearn, probably. Brandon Marsh, or as my friend's dad calls the Geico caveman because he hates him.
He needs a haircut.
He calls Brandon Marsh the Geico caveman and Alex Bohm Goldilocks. He can't stand either of them.
I saw a Bohm for Jaron Duran trade suggestion today on ESPN.
I wouldn't be shocked if Bohm ends up in. I wouldn't be. Oh, Jesus!
It's a pretty good staff.
Holy crap! That's a really good staff.
It's a really good staff.
That's a really good staff. I wouldn't be surprised if Bohm ends up in Seattle, because we talked about this before with Chino Suarez. I think he's going to get paid more than they want to pay him.
Yeah.
Or more than they feel like they should pay somebody his age. And he wasn't great for them. I mean, he was pretty good in the playouts, but he wasn't great for them. I think the Polanco thing's a bigger dilemma for them than Suarez.
Yeah.
Because they don't really have anybody coming. They could trade Bryce Miller for Alec Bohm, and though that'd be a mistake, they'd be overpaying for that. But I don't know. I think the Phillies are going to make a giant splash here. They're so desperate to trade Nick Castellanos that you could have Nick Castellanos in your living room and they'll pay his contract for him not to play next year.
Wow.
Matt Olson, Freddie Freeman, Vinny Pasquantino. My favorite Royal. I don't know why you hate him.
I just think
Ted, did you get any right-hand hitters?
I think he's overrated.
I got to scroll back up. Stowers, Marseille, Carpenter, Ryan O'Hearn, and Brandon Marsh. I don't think you took any right-hand hitters, did you? Boy, when you yeah, Vinny's under the radar. There's no doubt about that. Vinny's under the radar, and it's. I know first base is deep, but he's only gotten better for the last. He's only gotten better for the last 2 years.
Yeah,
and I think names are going to go in front of him this year, and people are going to regret that they didn't take a swing on him earlier instead of your current favorite player, Freddie Freeman. They're going to wish they took Pasquantino instead because the numbers bear it out. I mean, 270, 31 homers, and 100 RBIs on a team that doesn't score any runs. A pretty good year. And he missed a little time at the beginning of the year because he was coming off an injury.
Yeah.
Put Vinny P on the block tomorrow. I'll give you Spencer Jones for him.
He's out there. Go get him. Hey, by the way, do me a personal favor and lose in fantasy football this week.
I could probably do that without trying.
Because I'm on a roll. It was pointed out to me today, number one in the power rankings, at least that's got to be current. But unfortunately, BU02215 was showing off Sunday and won. So now you, me, and Scotty are in a three-way tie for the final playoff spot.
Well, I got all my guys back, so that should help. So here's a great fantasy story. My family has a fantasy football league. One of my family members in our fantasy football league sadly passed away the day after Thanksgiving. Sadder than that, I was playing him this week. And I lost, which this is very difficult to do in fantasy football, especially the way ESPN scores. I lost by 61 points to a person who at the end of our fantasy week was no longer on this planet. It made me question whether I would do any fantasy sports ever again in any area.
It's not the first time you've ever asked yourself that.
I was joking with one of my cousins. I'm like, I'm losing to a dead person. And his team is stacked. His team is stacked, and he's probably going to win the friggin' league.
Wow.
Which would be fitting, to say the very least.
It would.
It would be very fitting. Jackson Dart on the bench, right where he should be, with that friggin' dumpster fire of a team they are. Always.
Yeah, but you need to lose, because then if it's me and Scotty both win, I at least beat him and on the tiebreak. You have the tiebreaker on me.
Am I favored to win this week? Probably not.
I think you're a slight dog. I'm a big favorite over BU02215.
Oh, I'm a 4-point underdog. Of course I am, because I'm playing a team that's 11-2, and I'm not 11-2.
Well, he's got McCaffrey on a bye week. Thank you. Who's 11-2? Oh, is that Big Uglies?
Yeah.
Bob, if you're still on, please win.
Well, look, Bo Nix is going to have 56 points this week.
Probably. Probably.
Unbelievable. 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 But he doesn't have Kittle, and he doesn't have Kittle, which maybe he can. Maybe Shedeur will forget Harold Fannon's not playing and forget to throw the ball to him this week. Deshaun Watson's practice window opened.
Yes, it did.
The Cleveland
went out, threw a couple balls and needed, a little table time.
It makes being a Jet fan so much easier knowing that I'm not a Browns fan. As a friend of mine texted me today and shared that with me, I go, here's the quarterback room right now. Dylan Gabriel's curled up in a ball in the corner calling his mom. Shedeur's telling Deshaun Watson how much he loved watching him play when he was in when Shedeur was in middle school. And Deshaun is lobbying the Browns to get a better soft tissue masseuse in the locker room.
Massage therapist.
Yeah, we just need somebody better for soft tissue.
It's got to sign Justin Tucker. They can double up.
Yeah, who brought him in and didn't sign him?
Atlanta or Arizona?
Maybe it was Arizona. He should go to the Giants after that breached Charlie Brown field goal attempt that just pushed the butt fumble to the third most embarrassing thing in New York football history.
You see the tweet the other night that Abdul Carter was benched because he got caught watching porn during a team meeting?
I did.
Yes.
Why? I mean, was it a position meeting or was it a general team meeting?
I don't know that it matters.
And was it really porn? Because maybe what he was watching, I wouldn't consider porn.
Okay. That's an interesting take. Alarming, but that's interesting.
I don't live in a world where I don't know what porn is, but when I see it, I do. I don't live in that world. I mean, where there watches porn surrounded by dudes in spandex pants. Abdul Carter.
I posted that tweet in my Seinfeld Fanatics Facebook group with the caption, "Was that wrong?"
Maybe it wasn't porn. Maybe it was a reel about how Penn State's fucking up their coach hire and everybody thought it was porn. Maybe that's what it was.
Could be.
Jesus God.
All right.
The guy that wanted Lawrence Taylor to ask for Lawrence Taylor to unretire his number.
Yep.
Wow.
Showing up late for meetings.
Caleb Williamson's painted fingernails. They seem to have forgotten all about that in Chicago. That doesn't seem to be a big deal right now.
That happens when you win games.
Amazing, isn't it? Isn't it amazing?
Yes. Now he's colorful.
Yes. Now he's a free spirit. Now he's Joe Namath.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Thank you, Uncle Ted.
Thanks for chiming in,
all
Ted.
right.
Always a pleasure. Bob, Blue Bayou, the big man, and your fucking Sonny Gray bullshit. Thank you. See you next week. Same bad time, same bad channel.
Absolutely. Enjoy your week, folks. We will see you next Wednesday.
Adios.
National League Prospects. Winter meetings. Have at it.
Prospects.